What is up, my friends? Welcome. It is Tuesday. My name is Trevor. I am the CEO of Coach Catalyst, and this is Build the CEO. I'm excited to be with you here today because we are going to talk challenges part 3. If you missed the other 2 episodes of challenges, definitely check them out. If you're in the Facebook group, just scroll down. You'll be able to find them. But this is part 3 of challenges. We're going to go a little bit deeper today. Today, I want to cover things like incentives, how we want to potentially create outcomes, or what do we want to highlight, or what do we want to incentivize is probably the best way to describe it. We're also going to look at like tracking things. How are we tracking measurements? How are we tracking all the things that we need to track? And then towards the end, how are we getting the clients to do some things that we should have them doing, like leaving us Google reviews or leaving us Facebook reviews or whatever we may need, and then giving some insight so that we can continue to create a better group program. So this is about group. And so, all right, my camera went out there for a second. Now it's back. But so this is what we talk about, a kind of a curriculum-based approach, meaning everyone is going through this together. We can set the curriculum in advance, and then we're just helping that person move through this curriculum, very similar to our traditional education process in the United States, right? And so this is a very scalable approach. This is an approach you can use to solve a very specific problem, and I think it can be really effective as long as we set it up correctly. So the first thing I want to talk about is, what are we incentivizing, or what are we having people focus on? Many times when people run a challenge or a short-term program, they have people focus on the result. So let me give you an example. The Biggest Loser, right? The Biggest Loser is focusing on the result of weight loss. And so the person that loses the most wins. Okay, that can work, but what we've found is that actually alienates the vast majority of the people that are partaking in this program. Because if the only person that wins is the person that loses the most weight, then that means that everyone else is not a winner. And that's not really a good strategy if we are trying to move people into coaching after the program. Someone asked what my mic. Someone changed my mic. Someone should. My mic should sound. Does my mic sound really goofy? Todd, give me give me some insight into here on Riverside. So see what things sound like. It appears that it's still connected, but I don't know. If you can still hear me, we're good. So coming back to this, we want to try and incentivize as many people as possible. And so I like the idea of a benchmark. Right? We're going to benchmark certain behaviors. We're going to benchmark certain habits. And then we are going to be rewarded based upon us hitting those markers. Right? So an example might be the benchmark is 3 workouts a week. Right? And if a client hits 3 workouts a week, great. They might be entered into a raffle, and we're going to give something away. Or the benchmark might be, over the course of our program, we have 100 action items that they're going to have. They need to hit 90 of them or 80 of them in order to be, in order to win the prize, right? So we want to look at, we want to measure things, right? We want to track things, which we'll talk about here in a second, but we want to measure, or we want to incentivize is probably the best term. We want to incentivize things that people have control over. So they don't always have control over a result. They can influence a result, right? But they can't always control it. Lots of things can get in the way. People's physiologies, yada, 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 can get in the way. But if we are highlighting, if we're incentivizing the process, right, doing the things, then people are going to continue to be motivated to do the things. So we can incentivize that with a prize at the end. Right? It doesn't need to be big. We've given away trips. It doesn't matter. Just the being recognized is what's important, right? So coffee cups, tumblers, t-shirts, stickers. Give me simple things that and actually Emma on our team did something really cool with her people. Is she gave certificates when they accomplished something. She gave like a Canva had a nice little certificate, put their name on it, sent them a certificate. That can be a really cool way to recognize people because that's really what the rewards are. It's recognition. So let's say you're running like a habit-based program, and maybe every 2 weeks you have a habit, and someone can graduate from that habit. They maybe done it at a 90% compliance or a 90% efficiency, and they then get a certificate that they completed that, right? They're a protein master, whatever it may be. But simple things like that can go a long ways in keeping people engaged in your program for the long term, especially if you have these kind of rewards built throughout our program, um, and B, just building connection with those clients, building connection with those clients, really getting buy-in from those clients. People love rewards, but they don't need to be fancy. So don't feel like you need to give away really expensive things. A certificate of recognition can be good enough. Okay, and I like the rewards throughout. A reward each week, a reward each month, whatever it may be. You just get these little touch points. You get these little mileposts throughout that I think are really really important. So that's kind of the first one is the benchmarks. Let's benchmark the actions, the things people have control over versus incentivizing outcomes, and then using those incentives throughout the program to keep engagement really high. So the next one is going to be tracking things. We are going to probably track things throughout our program. If it is more body composition, nutrition, weight loss orientated, we're going to track things like weight, which is an easy one. Potentially body fat percentage. You can connect with like a within scale, and that can connect directly into Coach Catalyst so that their body fat percentage and their weight and everything is uploading directly into their metrics if you want to make it easy. If you want to create a really high-end program, you could create a little gift package that you send clients that maybe includes a scale and includes a few other things that they may need to participate in this program. So think about how you can make it easy for your clients to execute. And the within scales are a great one. They're just like a Bluetooth scale or a smart scale that connects to Wi-Fi and all that data uploads into their Withins app. Zozo Fit is something that we have a recent partnership with. So if you want to check that out, essentially the client uses their smartphone and they stand, turn it in a circle, and their smartphone tracks their measurements, and then spits out body fat percentage and all those kind of things. So that can be a really easy free tool that your clients could use with their phone. Really cool and easy, right? But we would want to build all these things into our onboarding, or have a lesson around measurements. I believe we have a lesson on Zozo Fit inside of Coach Catalyst, so you can tweak that one as well. But tracking this stuff is really important. Another really easy one, circumferences, right? If you're dealing with weight loss, like a waist circumference, a hip circumference, are two really easy ones to do to give you some ideas on how someone is doing. I definitely teach someone, do a video on this for your clients on how to do it effectively, because obviously pulling too tight or being too loose can affect some of the reliability or repeatability of those measurements. And so again, education. If we are dealing with a virtual type program, education needs to be a strong component in what we're doing. Yes, it's going to take more work, absolutely, but create these things, put them in your database so that you can then reuse them over and over again with more clients, with other programs, yada yada yada. Another one that I want coaches to just have on their radar that I think is really important, because a lot of people talk about a program improving someone's energy. Cool. Well, energy is this kind of like subjective measure, and it can be hard to really tell, or people just like, oh, I feel like I have more energy. So one thing you can do if you have these like subjective based measurements that you want people to follow, right? Maybe you're dealing with people that are perimenopausal, or people that are dealing with other health conditions. And we want to kind of track some of their things. Maybe we want to track energy. Maybe we want to track how well they're sleeping. Maybe we want to track their hunger levels, their craving levels. To actually give you an example, we are running a test at my facility right now. We have a new product that we are testing out, a new supplement that we're testing out that is similar to a GLP-1 type of medication, but it's not prescription. And so we're testing it. And what we have our clients doing, they're taking the supplement every day, and then every day they have a form that they fill out that has them rate their cravings, that has them rate their hunger, has them rate their energy levels, all of that kind of stuff. And we're having them do it for 60 days. And then we're going to look at that data and see, did this product have the effect that we wanted to have, along with doing weekly body comps and that kind of stuff. So if you are running a program that has other variables that you're improving that aren't necessarily objective, like weight and body fat percentage, use forms as a way to collect that data. You can use the scale-based question, right? That's our biofeedback. That's our subjective-based question, where the client's going to rate something on a scale of 1 to 10. That could be their hunger, that could be their digestion, that could be their libido, that could be their energy, that could be their sleep. But it's a subjective rating, and then we tie that into a metric so that we can graph it and track it over time, right? So now I can go look at someone's graph and look at the 60-day program, the 90-day program, and hey, what happened to their energy? If we could clearly see that, hey, they were kind of 5s and 6s and then 7 and 8s, and now towards the end, they're 9s and 10s, we have a really clear picture that our program improved this person's energy. That's like marketing gold, right? We actually have real data. We're not just saying this improves your energy. I have data that backs it up. We've ran this program with 50 people, and the average person increases their energy by, 2 data points. Most people start here and most people end here, right? A lot more convincing when we are talking about that kind of stuff. So tracking things over time can be a really good tool. One, to show the client and prove to the client that the program is working, but also to give you data to know that your program is working. Or maybe it's not working and we need to tweak some things in order to get it to work. And so those can be a really simple tool that you can use in order to improve the efficacy of your program, get better data, and um, and ultimately like show the client that they're improving in ways that are other than potentially body composition goals, right? So that can be used for any number of things, but just know that inside of forms, you have that question, and that can be a great one to utilize daily, weekly, whatever you see fit for your particular program. Now, as we're starting to get towards the end of our program, there are a few things that we really want to think about that I want to kind of implore you to have inside of your program. The first one is an action item for your clients to review you on Facebook or Google. Pick one. Don't have them both. Pick one, whichever one you're lower on. I would typically lean more towards Google because it's a little bit more public, especially if you are brick and mortar. But if you are a virtual coach, you can have a Google listing. But brick and mortar makes a lot of sense. If you are a gym, many people are going to search gym in X town, right? And so bolstering your Google reviews can be a really good way for you to show up higher and also to give more confidence to the person that's searching that you're a good fit. And we can just make it as part of it's an action item. It's a point within your program for them to review you on Google or give you so many X amount of stars. We then make it really easy. Inside of the lesson, we link directly to the Google review. And so it's click, click, and they're in there and they can do the review. And then if you can easily see from your dashboard, right, like the people that haven't done it, then you can gently ask the people that haven't done it, where, hey, can you do me a big favor if you've had a great experience with our program? This really helps other people find our program and allows us to change some more lives. So you can then ask the people that haven't done it to go do it, and you can increase the number of Google reviews that you have very quickly, which just improves the confidence of someone searching and then boosts you up in search ranks. So that's a really important piece. The other one is having the clients fill out some sort of survey at the end to give you some feedback on how the program went, how you can make it better, results that they feel like they've achieved throughout the program. It doesn't need to be long. Like it could be 4 or 5 really meaningful questions that give you some good feedback. But that can be a great way for you to continually iterate and improve your program to just provide an even better experience for the next person or the next cohort that comes through the program. So again, we can just build all this stuff right into the program, so we don't need to think about, oh, when do I send that message, or when do I send that, or when do I put that form in, or that survey, yada yada yada. Like, we just build out the program in its entirety, so that we simply assign it, and then it just delivers the things that we need it to deliver. So that's why it's really important to just kind of map this stuff out in advance, so that you don't miss anything at the end of the day. So hopefully some of that stuff was helpful. If you do have any questions, you feel free to pop them into the chats. I've got the chat inside of Facebook going. So if you want to pop it in there, if you're on Riverside, definitely drop the chat in there, and we can get it answered here. But I think group programs can be a really effective way to coach, especially if you have a little bit of an audience. You can run cohort-based type programs where everyone is going through it together, which allows you to build some community. It allows you to create some engagement. If you do want to do live calls and that kind of thing as part of your program, it makes it really easy to do that stuff. And so I really like the cohort model, but you can also take this group curriculum that you're using, and you can just use it with 1, 2, 5, 10, 50 people. And it's just your curriculum that you're taking someone through, and you're helping them work through that curriculum. So it doesn't always have to be in like a group type format. It can be in a one-to-one format, but you're using your group curriculum. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. I think this is the last week on group stuff, and then we'll move into some other topics next week. So if you do have questions with this stuff, you can always tag me in the Facebook group, and I'm more than happy to answer it for you. Remember, this is Vimeo. It's in the Facebook group. So if you did miss parts 1 and 2 from this, just go back and search for those, and you'll be able to find parts 1 and 2. So hopefully you guys have a great Tuesday. Hopefully for you, it is above 0, because it is not for me. And stay warm out there. So we'll see you later. My name is Trevor, the CEO of Coach Catalyst, and thanks for listening today. See ya.